Right now you're checking out Pirate Radio with me, Jay Fresh, for yet another edition of Jay Fresh and Friends. If you're a regular listener to the show, you know it's not all about me. It's all about new music and new artists from the world of hip-hop and grime doing the most. Now, some people, when it comes to the start of the week and a Monday, they're not in a good place. They're negative, they're down. That is definitely not the case with my next guest, who is full of energy, especially on a Monday. We're joined by Brother May. What's happening, man?
Yes, my bro. Hey, I love the introduction. Thank you so much for that, man. Yeah, man. All good, bro. You good?
Really good, man. Like I said, you bring that Monday energy. I was lagging until we got you on the phone line, so thank you. You've given me that upliftment, everything that I needed right now.
Wow. Yes, my bro. Thank you. I'm glad I could, be of some service, man. Yes, my G.
We got a lot to get through in our interview today, but first off, I want to start with something that might shock you. Dizzee Rascal's Boy in the Corner, 17 years old. How does that make you feel?
Hey, that makes me feel like, wow. That's like cornerstone, That's like, raw. That set the precedent, and it set the kind of bar of what could be achieved. So inspiring. Them times there. Cool, man, 17 years ago. Wow, yeah, that is mad. That album's too much. Yeah, he really set the bar with that one, definitely. Boy in the Corner, Dizzee Rascal, boy, trust.
So this is the thing, when we look at iconic albums, especially from the UK, and they're part of your history growing up or listening to genres or artists, you're like, yeah. But then when it appeared on Insta the other day, I was like, 17 years old, like, that sounds about right. But also, my God, where's the time gone? It's a madness.
Exactly. Where has the time gone? Where has the time gone? And it's just like, that's the thing, It's best to just start from somewhere, anywhere, when you're young, and just try and get that work done, because you never know. 17 years from now, they could be talking about you,
Exactly, man, exactly. Now, we are in a climate where music is just everywhere. You open your phone, it's on every app, it's just everywhere. It's like we're drowning in it. So to find music that I see as different and a little bit outside the box doesn't come along very often, but when it does, it always gets my interest and gets my ear. Now, this is why we've got you on the phone, bro, because your music is different, and that's a real positive thing in the game right now. How are you finding your reception and the kind of conversations that are coming around you and your music, and how it's been received right now?
Wow, that's a great question. Yeah, it's all a bit quite overwhelming, to be honest. The feedback has been so positive and so uplifting, even to hear from me, because when you're, as a musician, when you make the music, that's one part of, you're happy about it, you're gassed, and you're super excited to share it with everybody. And, you're in this space where you're like, yes, I can't wait, this is going to come out. And then you drop it and, you don't know what the reaction is. You obviously hope for a positive one and a good reaction, but you could never be too sure.
Yeah.
So, and because you're doing something different, because I'm doing something different, I could never be too sure of the reaction and stuff, So when it's a positive one and a good one, it's so it's overwhelming. It's great, bro. It's exactly what I want and more, basically. Like planting a seed. You plant a seed and then it grows, but when it bears fruit, there's seeds in each of those fruits, so you get way more than you initially planted,
I mean, fruit.
That's my kind of analogy. Yeah,
Fruit there is a good analogy, because obviously you talk about nurturing it and giving it the ingredients to kind of grow. But also, what I like about your choice of analogy there is that we can now look back or a Type Orange, you know, and we can look at the time that's passed between that and between where you are now. And, you know, it's been a little bit of time. So has that given you enough kind of critical distance to look back at that debut album and then kind of critique it, see what you thought went well, what you think might tweak moving forward musically? Have you had that kind of distance to reflect?
Yeah. In a sense, yeah. You know, in a sense, I have kind of had that time to sit back and be like, all right, on my next album, this is the approach that I want to do. You know, this is the angle that I want to go at, and this is like the beat choice that I want. You know, I've got a sense of, you know, where I want to take it on my next album in terms of storytelling and just, you know, just showing a bit more diversity with my lyrics and stuff, and just you know, where I can take it as a musician, like just thinking outside the box and things, like, yeah. So I've had a nice bit of time, a bit of distance, and you know, I wanna keep the work going.
Is it fair to say that the world needs more love right now?
Yeah. It's just my opinion, basically, and I feel like, yeah, you know, it would be great if if there was a bit more, you know, documentation and news and, you know, articles about various lovely things that happen around the world. It's not just about, you know, it's about good things that happen as well as, you know, bad things, and keeping us updated to what negative things are going on in the world. But, you know, a balance with news and, you know, things being positive would be great, I reckon. So, you know, I just thought, you know, we're in a time where love is in demand because, you know, it's a pandemic and we're all kind of locked down, and, you know, it's like that love that we've all got for each other, and, you know, the equality that we all want to see for each other. That's something that we all demand. I feel as though, like, you know, coming from my upbringing, there weren't much love, you know, in the end, really. You know, like, the things that I saw growing up, it wasn't a really positive, it didn't give me a very positive outlook from an early set in life. So, you know, having grown up now and seeing, you know, what really matters, you know, it's love, like family and, you know, bonding and friendships and experience, and these are the things that kind of matter to me in a sense. So I just thought that love is in demand, and, you know, my love for music and just my love for people and things, I just thought, and animals and just everything in general, just like, you know, yeah, I have negative kind of off days sometimes and stuff, but I just kind of, when I have them days, I try to channel, bring it back and just, you know, switch it up. But yeah, I just feel like, yeah, love is in demand, you know, in my personal opinion, you know. So yeah, that's kind of where I kind of got the name from. And, you know, I'm speaking on different topics of love and love for people and things, and, you know, love for music, and yeah.
Yeah, man. Now we know with the EP, like, this is the kind of the nitty gritty now, is like, when did you start working on it? How long did it take to put together? How difficult was it to agree on like the final track listing arrangement? What tracks didn't make the cut? Tell us about the kind of the real detail of putting it together as a project.
Yeah. So that's another great. Yes, Jay.
It's almost like I know what I'm doing, bro.
Hey, no, you definitely do. Hey, trust me. Yeah, no. I mean, yeah. So the process was basically my friend Rudy Zagadlo, Luli. He sent me the first track, which is the last track on the EP, called Fallout. And Fallout was sent to me, and it had just if we ever fall out. It just had that bit in the hook, and you know it started like that, and the beat was completely different. You know, it had less of a swing, so we kind of chopped it up whilst we were working on it. But you know, he basically sent me the track. I wrote to it in my kind of home studio and stuff, and you know, I just sent it back to him, and he was like, "Oh, great, this is great." And we would at first we just had it as a song, one song, and you know, we had it as one song, and we were so excited about it. We were like, yeah, sent it to a bunch of people, and they were like, "Oh, great." Someone gave us some advice and said, you know, maybe we should do an EP or something, you know, and get a few out of this because of how Fallout was sounding. And we were like, "Oh, great. All right. Yeah, maybe we should." So Rudy sent me a few more beats. It was the same kind of process. I wrote to them, sent them to him. He done like a few touches and, you know, on the vocals and little mixing here and there. And then we kind of ultimately sat together and kind of I co-produced with him and at his house. And we kind of just figured out the layers of each individual track. But, you know, it started with Fallout, and then the second song that I recorded was Friend Zone, and then I recorded Wait For You third, I think, and the last one I recorded was Demanding Love. And you know, we once we had those tracks and like about 3-4 others, I think I had a couple random ones in there. I can't even remember the names for some reason. I think they were untitled, but they were just in the mix. You know, there was like about 5-6 altogether. So, you know, we kind of just shortlisted it and was like, yeah, these are the strongest out of the 6. You know, so we cut it to like 4 of the strongest out of the 6 that we thought all correlate with each other well, and you know, they sound sonically good together. We were like, okay, you know, we're gonna go with these songs, and you know, we just kind of revisited them again, touched the vocals up. I re-recorded certain parts that I thought should be said like this or should drop in a certain way, so you know, it all fits and stuff. And then yeah, we had the finished kind of product and stuff, and then we were just like, you know, so it was a lot of back and forth. It was a lot of just him sending me the beat and me just writing to it, and then us kind of, you know, linking up and kind of producing it together to get the finished product. And then we kind of narrowed it down. So I've still got a few in the archives with Rudy, about 4 or 5 since the EP, and recording it took about, you know, no, I think recording it took about 3-4 months altogether. You know, just recording everything and getting all the songs recorded and done. You know, really, like, so I haven't got to go back in on them, kind of thing. Like 3-4 months, and then it was just a process with getting the co-production and the production to a standard where we were both happy. You know, that was the kind of the long process. That kind of took about 6 months. You know, so the project, we've had the project for like about a year, in a sense.
Yeah, you've sat on it. Sound like it's taken a while to put together. It's getting it sound exactly how you want before it goes out naturally.
Mm-hmm. Literally, and it was. We had it just. We had finished Aura Type Orange, and we were kind of just, you know, moving on to this kind of wrapping it up to kind of come out, because initially we wanted Aura Type Orange out in March, but it ended up coming out in June because, you know, I was still kind of recording and still having other things that I needed to, you know, do and fund, and because everything's just self-funded by us and stuff, there's no labels involved. It's like we're working and refunding ourselves and stuff from other projects we're doing, and you know, things, commissioned work that we're getting, it was just going straight back in. So it was all timing, you know, it all had to be timing and stuff. So yeah, I mean, it altogether, it's about a year.
That's crazy, man. I mean, like I said, like, you know, we all know every project has its own story, and everything that any of us who create music learn early on is don't rush it. Don't rush it and force it, because you never happen. But I'm surprised it was a project that you've been working on for such a long period of time. But I think that's what I don't think it obviously it doesn't matter, but I don't think it matters because sonically the project and where you're at as an artist, it's not fad related. It's not, oh, that's the hot sound now. 3 months later it's moved on. That's the wave. I'm chasing that wave, which obviously some people do that. You're very much in your lane. So if it takes a little bit longer, it doesn't matter, because it's needed with the layers and the depth of the tracks you're putting together. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, thank you, Jay. And that's important to me as well. I'm glad you touched on that, because, you know, it's not about the wave and the sound right now and chasing the wave, because, you know, in my head, I'm the wave anyway. You know, like, we're all the wave. You know, we're all the wave. Like, we've all got our own creative wave about us, you know. And if you're on the right wavelength, then you're on the wave anyway. You're on the energy balance frequency wave, you know, anyway. So we're all wavy in our own right, you know. So who's to tell us what is and what is not, you know?
Definitely, you know? Man. I love that. I love that open-mindedness, because, you know, there's always the business side of music, and sometimes people underestimate that side of things. But you never want it to clip or limit the creativity and where you want to be at. Not from that's how I operate, how I view it. Do you know what I mean? But it's interesting because you spoke about you know, no labels, whatever involved. So, you know, you're like re-upping the money that from this project into this project, and keeping it moving, which is very much the classic independent, self-sufficient kind of model. But it leads into my next thing, which is interesting, because the music video for Can Do It is looking dope. Now,
thank you, man.
If you look at just the numbers, and you go, right, well, the YouTube subscriber base is relatively small. It's sub 100. But the views on the video are in excess of 100,000. So not only is that kind of conversion rate crazy in such a positive way, but I get the feeling that with you and the independent mentality and everything, ownership is very important.
Yes, definitely. Ownership is very important.
So how, if you use that video as an example, I mean, I'm looking at that thinking, you know, it's on your own platform. You know, it hasn't got some crazy feature or a track that's gone crazy viral on a social media or something. I'm looking at that going, that's really impressive results, man. So when you look at those things from your perspective, how do you evaluate things like that?
Yeah, I'm just like, you know, it shows how much kind of work's being done behind the scenes, and that you know, sometimes, you know, artists are bigger than what their followers suggest. You know, people gravitate towards them more than what people would expect, you know. And yeah, I mean, this year I had like headline shows at the Roundhouse booked. You know, we were supposed to be playing Rio. We were supposed to be playing quite a few shows, me and Curl, and in the band and stuff. And, you know, people really like follow us and really like kind of gravitate to us. And we've got people that are really supportive of our work, you know, which we're very thankful for, you know, in turn, you know, and you know, I was gobsmacked at how many people from all over just kind of were playing the video and just getting into it and really like
Connecting
loving
with
it.
it.
Like I was connecting with it and sharing it on their stories and atting me and, you know, really being like, yo, like, and, you know, I was really kind of taken aback and stuff. So, yeah, I'm just like, in reflection, I'm like, I did not know it was going to do that at all. Because you never can be like, all right, this is going to do this or this is going to do that. But I just thought, you know, let's take a gamble, let's invest ourselves, let's put our own money into marketing, let's put our own money into PR, let's put our own money into the campaign, and let's just run it, you know, let's just drop our own video, drop it on our own channel, and, you know, let the powers that be handle the rest.
I respect that.
And, you know,
man.
lo and behold, you know, it done what it done, the numbers that it done, and it's obviously, hopefully, continuing to rise and stuff, and, you know, yeah, I'm just really, I can't, yeah, I'm jacked. I can't even, I'm literally.
Deservedly. Do you know what I mean?
I'm in my front room bouncing off the walls like, yo, you know, but, you know, it's not even all about the views. It's just about the fact that people are gravitating to it, and, you know, it's a good look, you know, and basically the hard work that we put in is what we're getting out, you know.
Yeah, man, I respect the hustle and the effort and the work and the energy that people don't see to make stuff like that happen. But no, man, it's a really positive thing, and I think there's been I think there's been a shift now. I feel, but perhaps the pandemic has kind of drawn people focus towards it. In that, you can have 1 billion followers, yeah, but if you can't sell out a 500 cap show, or 0.0000001% of people are buying your merch, do you know what? You'd be better off if you had 1,000 diehard fans who just ride for you, and your shows are sold out, and or your merch is sold out, and they're behind you. I feel like even in the market or the audience or the people now, I feel like there's an acceptance that having 1 billion followers is not the be all and end all that we thought it was. You can monetize and connect and build that rock solid fan base on significantly lower numbers, man. So that's just that's encouraging and exciting for anyone involved in music. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. You know, and that's just, you know, that's just a testament to, you know, the fact that you haven't got to go the same route that everyone goes. That you can feel out the game, you can make mistakes, you can go your own path. You know, you haven't got to go the direct music industry's path that they set out for you. You can kind of set your own path, feel it out yourself, you know, and yeah, you can, like you said, you can do it, like, pun intended, or, you know, yeah, like,
Love
come
that.
on.
Absolute wordsmith. I know what you're playing at, bro. I know what you're playing at, bro.
A little shameless one, you get me? But no, I'm telling you, but for real, yeah, man, it's all fact-based, and, you know, man's really out here, really is living it and trying to get it done, you know, and putting in man's own work without no cosigns, no crazy features, like you said. And yeah, it really is doing bits, and I'm proud. I'm in Hungary in a couple months as well, playing in the band with Mika and Kobe Say. You know, I'm going to be playing drums and stuff. You know, so yeah, I mean, it's just kind of onwards and upwards, isn't it? We just keep working and just keep kind of pushing the boat and showing, you know, the younger generation and people to come behind me that, you know, you can do music from any kind of aspect that you feel, you know, like, it's up to you, like, you know, you're the creator, so you can just create, kind of thing. You ain't got to jump on no specific wave, like you said earlier, you know.
Definitely, man. But we're going to get into track off the EP in just a moment. But before then, there is something that came up recently from the business side of music that I want to ask your opinion on, especially as we just spoke about the independent avenue and forging your own kind of path in your career. Like recently, when it was put to, I forget his name, the Spotify CEO, and it was put to him that X amount of money has been spent on acquiring podcasts, I think hundreds of millions of dollars, and yet artists receive such an incredibly low rate per stream. Is that fair? Could it be readjusted? You know, blah, blah, blah. And he came back saying the best way for artists to make more money out of Spotify is to release more music and not to wait 3 to 4 years between projects. So I've got my opinion, but I don't know if you've come across that quote or heard that, but as we're talking record, I want to hear what you're saying on it, man.
Yeah, right, that's interesting. I mean, yeah, these discussions will always be had, and I think a solution, you know, is for artists to take their music into their own hands, release it, you know, in a way where there's like a business model in place where, you know, there's a partnership. So it's not just like you're putting your money through Spotify, like out. You're not just putting your material out with Spotify. You're kind of in a relationship with them. Or, you know, you've got your own platform where you release your music where people just gravitate to. So that could be your .com or, you know, another place, you know, where you release exclusive music. You know, I think even Nipsey had something in place where, you know, in his shop, Nipsey Hussle, you know, in his shop he had something like, you know, you could scan the barcode and stream some exclusive content directly from his shop. You could scan the barcode of the clothes, you know, and there'll be an exclusive stream content, you know, that Spotify ain't got, that Tidal ain't got, that Apple Music ain't got. It's just exclusive to that garment and exclusive to his shop and stuff. So it's like the interactive clothing, like, you know, there's so many different ways that we can take back ownership, you know, and yeah, sometimes putting out music in a faster rate is helpful, you know, it is helpful, but not everybody has or can facilitate that kind of work rate, you know. So it's all about, you know, Spotify being able to kind of, you know, work in the artist's favor because of how much revenue we as artists bring to Spotify, you know, through the releases of our music.
Especially when you consider, I don't know the exact numbers, but I saw a chart recently when it was like how many streams you required per platform to equate to a cup of coffee or an hour's minimum wage work, you know, and it was, these are not the exact numbers, but it was something like 10,000 streams for a cup of coffee or whatever. And 10,000 like as a number on your project obviously sounds bigger than a cup of coffee. Do you know what I mean? But
it does. But that's just a cup of coffee, literally. A little Kenko beans. You know what I'm saying? It's mad.
It is mad out there.
Oh, mate, yeah, that's technical, but wow. You know what I'm saying? That's technical. Spotify got to fix that, man. Seriously.
But like you said, that's why we keep it moving and we do the independent thing.
Exactly.
We diversify, multiple revenue streams, all that good stuff. Do you know what I mean?
You know, because we can sit here all day, Jay, complaining, innit? You know, but who's going to listen, really? Who's going to listen and take action until we actually start doing something about it?
I couldn't underline this even more, because at the end of the day, like, we can now have this discussion about this, and then we can kind of interpret it or act on it in 3 different ways. We can just moan about how it's unfair and we don't like it. We can we can talk about it and then just do absolutely nothing.
That's 2, yeah,
or
definitely.
You talk about it and go, do you know what? what can we do to improve the situation? What opportunity can this give us? And then we take it in a positive avenue, which is the way that I approach my stuff. You approach your stuff, and overall, that's how you win and keep moving forward on your journey. Journey's not a straight line.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
No, it's not. It's a rigid road. You know, there's humps, bumps, mad obstacles, mountains you got to move with your mind. Bare things. You know, you got to, you know, when you set sail as a sailor, you know, the sailors, they envision the port. You get me? They don't think about, you know, there's going to be this, there's going to be that. Any like kind of, you know, big objective or objection in your way, like obstruction, you know, you can surmount that. You can overcome that easy. You know, if you've got the end goal in mind, kind of thing. You know, in a sense, like, you know, and you've got, like, you know, you've got some resource, because we could sit here complain, like you said, all day, but if we don't visit the drawing board and we don't link up and talk about solutions and actively go out and really try and make some effective change, then, you know, it's just words then, you know, kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, listen, thank you so much for joining us on Pyro today. We're going to get into a track off the EP, but before then, hit me with your social media, because people need to be up to date with how to connect with you, bro.
Yeah, so my social media, on Twitter, it's just like @BrotherMay. On Twitter, it's @BrotherMay. You know, just normal @BrotherMay. And then, you know, Instagram is @BrotherMay as well. Facebook, same. Facebook @BrotherMay1, I think. Yeah, but yeah, it's all just @BrotherMay. I think Instagram's brother_May, but you know, you'll see it. It's not, you know, you don't even have to follow, man. It's calm. you know the ones there, but I would appreciate the followers, and you know, I love it and all that, and I appreciate everybody, you know, showing love. And if you do follow, that's love, innit? If you don't, that's love as well. You know, it's calm, kind of thing. I'm going to keep it moving regardless, you know.
Exactly, so, man. So we're going to play a track from Love Is In Demand, but I want you to choose which track you want us to play right here at Pyro Radio and introduce it for us, please.
Yeah. So yeah, my name's Brother May, and yeah, listening to Pyro Radio. You know, Jay Fresh, man himself, Fergie in the building and that. And yeah, the track that I'm going to introduce is Demand in Love off the EP called Love Is In Demand. And yeah, I hope you enjoy it, man.